are ready to go. I'm back with a run of one of probably my main speed game. Shantae at the Pirate's Curse. Today we're going to be doing ADM Pirate No Out of Bounds. So all the out of bounds tricks that would usually be just breaking the game essentially, we're not going to be doing them. And ADM stands for All Dark Magic. So there's 20 Calcobats in total in the game. We need to take all of them down, absorb them, and then we can basically go ahead to complete the game and get the true ending. So, I guess we're ready to go. So, in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so our journey begins with Shantae just taking a little bit of a slumber. She is the guardian genie of this town, Skull Town. This is actually a sequel to Risky's Revenge, where at the end of that game, spoiler warning, she unfortunately loses her genie powers, so she becomes a full human for this game. We're going to be making use of the Pirate Master's equipment, which in tradition you normally pick up within the respective dungeons. However, because we're doing pirate mode, it's essentially this game's version of New Game Plus. We start off with all of them straight away, and we can just blaze through corridors, amongst other things. Right, so just opening up, we're going to be trying to hopefully get a certain few enemy hits just to give myself a better gem count. I missed the gem, but I got them two. Nice. So we've got a good start there. Pirate Master equipment that we have the risky boots, which is what's allowing me to do this dash. The cannon hops or quadruple jump, essentially. We also have a scimitar, which will come into play later, as well as a pistol, amongst a few other little tools and things. Alright, so straight away enter this screen, activate pipe ball. That's going to break this bridge straight away. And fall straight in. So to briefly talk on the opening boss of this run, the Ammo Baron. Ammo Baron is an RNG fight. However, there's certain things we know. We know that he can either do a charge, he can fire off a regular cannonball, or he can fire off a red cannonball. We want the red cannonball. He can only do 4 charges in any given cycle, 2 regular cannon shots in any given cycle, and then finally the red. If he fires off a regular cannonball, we also know he will not charge for that phase. So, who's a good Ammo Baron? Oh, yes, you are. Yeah, don't ask about the baby talk. It's a weird coincidence that I've come across. And very good RNG so far. Now, because he's done that, I know for a fact I'm going to get enough damage dealt to him that when it comes to his final round now, he will not charge whatsoever. So, hopefully, red cannonball. Nope. Okay, so it's going to come up next. All right, so that's the Ammo Baron down, and we're off. It's okay, Ammo Baron. I forgive you. But as it turned out, the original mayor of this town actually sold this town to the Ammo Baron for a box of waxy chocolates. So yeah, we just attacked the new mayor of town. They're not too he's not too pleased about it, and we've just been given a summons to essentially give a heads up that we are being summoned to have our hair chopped off. This being Shantae, that's one of the last things we want, because that's our main form of attack. Well, for now, I guess it's best time to just chill, relax, and nice hot bath, eh? What do you reckon, Shantae? She likes it. Unfortunately, this is the precise moment when she actually realises that she doesn't own a bathtub. So, yeah, that's a thing. It turns out to be the work of none other than Risky Boots, the lady pirate of this world. She's usually the arch nemesis, but she's actually here trying to look for her men who disappeared, and is wondering why we have one locked up in a chamber. Well, Risky, that doesn't look good. Do you mind letting me out now? Just this is looking bad. That's not good. So Tinkerbat becomes Cacklebat, and these are the creatures that we need to destroy as part of this All Dark Magic run. Just have a delay whip there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cacklebat down. Right. So in the case of this game, she's basically she takes this as a sign that the Pirate Master is going to return, and she really does not want that to happen. So it turns out Risky and Shantae are going to be teaming up in order to try and ensure that the Pirate Master does not return. So let's get going. Right. So start off, I need to do 2 things before the game will actually allow me to leave the town. First, we need a library card. I mean, we need this to get into the library, despite the fact that we look nothing like that. We don't have blonde hair or anything like that, so it's a little odd. The other one we physically need to actually put a save in. once again, way forward, just making sure we play safe. But once you've done both of them, you can speak to the town guard, and you're allowed to pass through. And we'll get one of our main examples of, well, first example of one of the main things that we'll be doing through most of the run. It's known as the risky shuffle. By holding left on the D-pad and tapping right on the analog stick, we're able to trick the game into believing that we are running in a continuous line with Shantae, which is what you need to trigger the risky dash. So we actually use that in quite a number of areas just to get charges in spots we're not supposed to, just to make things a bit faster. I don't know why on earth I decided to jump that guy. I should have hit him. Never mind. Alright, as we run across, say hello to the Squid Baron. He's a little in the dumps. He used to be a main boss in the previous game. Now he's sort of been reduced to the side. So, first thing first, I need to get several flesh pops. The trick to this is getting trapped between the snake and the ceiling. And what the game will do is actually... there we go. Okay, good. So what that does is you're technically killing the same enemy multiple times. And for each time it has... Let's just do this a sec. Okay, there we go. But yeah, but it basically duplicates any item drops that they have, and it's a 50-50 chance of getting a flesh drop from them. So technically you're killing the same enemy 3 times in a row, so you have a chance of dropping 3 of the flesh pops, and that's the amount we need to progress. We'll just quickly pick up this brochure, which we need to get a key item for a little bit later on in the run. So that's 2 cacklebats down. There's 1 more I'm going to be picking up off of this island before this is all said and done for now, but we will be back here, so remaining cacklebats after that we will deal with. So we get the flesh pops to Bolo for those zombie kids. He'll give us the gate key to be able to enter this palace. We'll give Squid Baron the brochure. As we said, he's a little down, so he's going to go and take a holiday to hopefully feel better, you know, get some rays and everything, and he gives us some squid oil in return. So that'll be a key item for a bit later on in the run. As for now, we need to go handle our summons. Go, Shantae, go! Right. So here we are. We give him the summons there. Turns out he's a fan. He doesn't want us to have our hair cut off, so we're just going to be allowed to take this Forbidden Isles map, which is going to be to the next island of this game. This game being primarily a Metroidvania style game, but it's broken down into several islands, more akin to like the style of Metroid Fusion. We get the maps at retrospective points to be able to push on forward. Now, hopefully I get this right. It's a bit of a tight jump to get, but if I get the timing right, we're going to be able to just go 1, 2, 3 onto the branch. Nice, okay. Straight up here for our next cacklebat. Alright, good kill. So that'll be cacklebat number 3. We generally exit and re-enter both screens that we can when we do a cacklebat kill, because this just stops the animation of the cacklebat basically dying. And it just saves like a small amount of time for every time you can get one of them. But won't be able to do that on all cacklebats, I'm afraid. Final stretch back. Hoping for some good RNG drops from these lovely, lovely scarecrows. 2 drops. 1 I can make use of, 1 not so much, but we'll see how things go. Oh, nice. Got a quick double entry there. So we're actually going to return Sky's library card to her because we're nice that way. And in return, she's going to give us 100 gems, which is what we could use to get our next set of shopping underway. Right, so 3 flares, 1 super pipe ball, and that's going to set us up ready. Now the pirate flares are for returning back to the ship. So when you're in the middle of an island, you can drop a pirate flare and it will return you back to the beginning of said island, saving quite a bit on backtracking. As we now enter good old Saliva Island. Why is it called Saliva Island? You'll see. Give me time. And we bow, Shantae. So off we go. Maybe try and get 1 or 2 more drops. Nope. Alright. So, as I say, this being no out of bounds, we're just going to have to go around more of the island than you would see in a out of bounds run. And we're going to run into Twitch and Vinegar, who are having a bit of a camping trip, so to speak. They've got a nice piece of ham there, but unfortunately the spring's out. There's no water running, which they were hoping to take a bit of a swim. So maybe we can help them out with that, with this nice lovely bit of ham sting. But before we do, let's just pop over here. We have our next cacklebat in the works. Now there's 2 cacklebats on this island, so Both of them will be taken down before we enter the first Den of Evil. One goes in. And moving forward. So, thanks to the Pirate Master's equipment, usually you'd have to do quite a bit of like zigzagging back and forth, but we can just use the cannon shots to climb up. I'm going to hopefully get a bit of a trick here. Oh, nope, little too late. Alright, unfortunately a bit late there. I was trying to get a cut which would skip out the animation of the smell going up to him, but the pausing and unpausing actually skips the animation of this Gigaloom. It's blinking, so that saves a bit of additional time. And he's very happy for that ham stink, which is making him drool all over the place. And that is pretty much why this is known as Saliva Island. And, yeah. Let's just say we did those, we did Twitch Vinegar a favour. We got the waterworks running again. I'm not too sure how they're going to feel about it, but let's go ask. So, how about it, ladies? You good with this? And ew! Why am I in the saliva? Ew, 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 ew! Oh, wait, you like it? This is not a swimming pool, ladies. This is just saliva. You don't want to get in here. But for our reward, we get the Petrify spell, which we're going to be using to get into our next Den of Evil. And oh god, they're splashing it everywhere! Saliva everywhere! God damn! Right, we're out of there. Alright, so we're about to enter our next Den of Evil. Turns out there's a bloke down there who has a petrified wife, and he's looking for a solution to bring her back. And he believes the solution is within the Petrify spell. So, let's do him a favour. And she returns! And, whoops. They're fine. They're fine. I'm sure they're fine. Don't worry about it, it's all good. Right, entering into our first Den of Evil, we're going to be taking a bit of a detour into a hidden area of this game, which is a replica of the first dungeon of the Game Boy Color version game of Shantae that was released in 2002. So our purpose here is to collect a couple of keys. Keys in this game work is such that a key from any particular dungeon is not specified to said dungeon. So you can collect keys from one dungeon and use them in another. This just so happens to be one of the quicker ways of getting the first two sets of keys. This also enables me to get some gems along my route to be able to keep up with what items I'm going to need from the shop a little bit later on. Ow. Unfortunately, he's always going to get in the way. So the Den of Evils is what we believe is what is believed in the story arc to be the means that the Pirate Master is gaining his power back from. So by taking out the Dens of Evil, we believe that will keep him at bay and all will be good. Just going to take an intentional drop down here. That will send us back to the beginning. And we can move forward. Hoping for a monster mill? No? Okay. Never mind. Right, so as we said, we've got the two sets of keys, so we don't have to worry about the key that's in the lower portion of this dungeon. We can just go straight over to using it and going up and around and ready to get into the boss fight. The boss fight that's going to be coming up is known as the Cyclops plant. He has two phases to him, and you're supposed to do a few things within phase one, like hitting these switches on the side of the wall in order to cause some platforms to rise. And then you can actually advance then to hit him in the face, or hit him in the eyeballs, sorry. So, for that, we'll get back to that in a moment. For now, I was just doing scimitar hits, because scimitar happens to hit both of the enemies at the same time. That's why I stuck with that for the most part. Let's switch over to cannons to deal a little bit quicker on the damage. Get a bit more gems there. And here we go, Cyclops Plum. Right, so as mentioned, phase one, there should be some eyes that come on the side, you hit them, that raise the platforms up. At least traditionally, this being pirate mode, we'll just we'll do that instead, just pincer him and he's down. Now phase two, I want to get him trapped into the ceiling, basically. Right, got you. 1, 2, 3, and down. Alright, so a good fight there. So using the same method as we did with duplicating with the snake, get yourself caught between the roof and the eyeball, just scores out mega damage pretty quickly. Right, Saliva Island is done, and hey, Tinkerbat, you got anything for me? Oh, it's a map. Nice. Now we have access to Spiderweb Island. Our next island. It's more of a little bit of a dark island. So we're going to be surrounded by some zombies for a while, but first we need to get out of here. Give Frisky the map so she can take us away. Alright, Spiderweb Island, 3 Cacklebats in there. There will be one I'll be intentionally leaving behind. And I'll be getting the other 2 as I go, as I will need to come back to this island at a later point in the run. Right, so straight away, I'm going to float up here. I'm actually going to try and strike there. Right, so open up the ground. That's where one of the Cacklebats are that I'll be coming back for later. Now we have a bit of RNG ghosts coming up in this room, where they could spawn. We know they can spawn in a general vicinity. However, where they actually spawn is pretty much up to them. Also going to pick up this fossil, which is a key item for later on in the run as well. The advantage of Pipe Mode is you're able to pick up quite a few items much earlier than you're supposed to in order to speed things up a bit. Got some more ghosty. Oh, hello. Oh, that was a little close. And now we enter Run Run Rotty Tops. This is our good old friend Rotty. She's trapped in a web. Spider's going to take her down. We scare her away. Now, Rotty Tops is claiming that her legs that she's poisoned. So her legs don't work. So welcome to the section. This is Run Run Rotty Tops. Now, my health meter's gone and everything. This is pretty much this game's version of an auto-scroller. There isn't going to be a great that I could do to speed up sections with certain things. I can't use any of my equipment. I can't take any physical damage. However, should I take a hit from anything, it will just send me back to the... Oh, not there. So it'll just send me back to the beginning of that screen. Stubborn Factor is now active. This tongue could hit me, but I tend to never stop for it. One thing we can do to speed this up just slightly is just getting these cuts just down the side of these tongues. Oh, bit early there, never mind. Also, with this next room, we're going to manipulate one of the other ones underneath. There's a tongue guy underneath me, so I'm just going to do a back and forth there. We should manipulate him to activate, and then I could just cut through. Even though I missed the cut, I was able to get around it. Unfortunately, kind of blocked by these Super Mario Bros. Free spikes, and they're one of the main reasons why we consider this a pseudo-auto-scroller, so to speak. There's not much we can really do about them. Their cycles are a little weird as well. Not 100% sure how the cycles work for the section. So we just kind of work with what we're given. And just, yeah. Come on, Rotty Tops. We must free you and save your soul. Okay. Into another spike room. Alright, just wait for that grabby hand to fire off the other way. Just makes it a bit safer to get through and meet the cycle that I want. Alright, down and through. Alright, so that's most of the spikes out the way. There will be more going through, including one just here. So coming up to next set of enemies known as fake graves. Now with these, it's we know that there's a certain ones that will that have the ability to stand up. As to whether they when or will is completely random. So it's just key to just jump over everyone that we know has the potential to stand up. Apart from that screen, every other screen has the fake graves that can stand up, and I'm going to do something silly by what's known as a stake jump, which is nothing but pure swag. And if it hits me, then not, shame on me. But we are at least through. Next up, we have the Kissy Bots. Well, why Kissy Bots? Take a look at their heads during their animations. They are literally chasing us, trying to give us a kiss. And yeah, we don't want that. No, I don't want any kisses from you. I've already got all the love I need from Rotty. Okay? Now stop it. All right, so yeah, so far so good. Section's going pretty well. Just need to hop onto here, let this Kissy Bot go, and they'll just cross over. So we're probably just over halfway through Run Run Rotty Tops. And pretty generous of him to give us a nice breather room. Just a few graves to jump over, and we're good. Right, so next up in this room are the Stevens. They are the Stevens that fire out mini Stevens. Why the Stevens? Let's just say any other name within the community is not exactly what you call PG friendly. I'll leave it pretty much at that. Right, so if RNG's on my side, I'll have these spikes open. Nice. Thank you, game. And I'm going to go for a little thing. It's a minor time save knows the X-Hop, named after the runner who came up with it. Onto the ledge there, just quickly over that guy. And that's that. So final room of the of Run. Everything basically comes back into play here. And it's quite a big time loss if I take a hit near the end. It's a good 30-second loss should I basically get hit. So, don't get hit. Alright. Hopefully we can best a bit of a spike cycle here. 1, 2, 3, go. Counting the wiggles of the tongue. We can just bypass that spike right there. Onto the final stretch. Ooh, that was a little close. Alright, so we're good with Run. Hey, save guy, how you doing? Oh yeah, we just got to avoid this cackleback. We'll be taking him out shortly. Alright, we got you home, Rotty. I hope you're happy. It's at this point where Rotty decides to sort of give us the old tee-hee, I was lying. My legs were fine. I just wanted you to carry me. You gotta love us sometimes. Although it's very rare I do. Right, so off to speak to Rotty Top's brother Poe. We give her the squid all that we got earlier on in the run, so he can fix his wagon up. And now we'll be able to use him as a bit of a short travel between the left and right side of Spiderweb Island. And he's going to present us with the next key item. It's not what you think. No. Naughty. Right, so that will get us access into our next Den of Evil. But first, we've got a couple of cacklebats to take care of. First one over here. We try to take the cacklebats out roughly in the same manner every time. Usually a dash into 3 hair whip strikes and 2 cannon strikes on their head is usually a good way to take them down. And then we got the cacklebat that we ran into at the end of Run. So we'll just pop. And he's good. Right, so we're actually going to leave that cacklebat behind for now, as it's roughly a 1 second time save, and we'll collect it once we are done with this Den of Evil. Right, so in we go. Lab 2, Cackle Tower. Now, Cackle Tower is basically it's a tower. I mean, that's pretty much a given. You're supposed to hit a bunch of switches in order to activate the flow of air so you can float up. Once again, we've already got all the Pirate Master's equipment, so we could pretty much just go straight up. However, just to keep in tune with key routing, I do need to just take a bit of a detour and come down here, as we got a key in this corner. Pipe ball, nice. We'll use that to our advantage, and we should be able to get this Bat Lady down in 3 rounds. And hopefully, if she's very nice to us, she might give us a major item. Super Monster Milk, brilliant. If there's any item I want, that's it. So that's going to be a good advantage. That's going to be good for us throughout this run. Milks in the run buff Shantae's hair attack power. So regular Monster Milks will buff them up by 5. Super Monster Milks will bump them up by 10. Alright, so now we can start our ascent up the tower. We do still have one more key we need to collect. We're going to do something known as an animation skip. If you basically if you collect an item whilst using a food item or a potion as such, it will override the animation of collecting the item with the animation of you using the item, which roughly saves about 2 seconds per one you skip. But of course we need the items to be able to do those skips. I just thought that would be a good spot to be able to show it. So our next Den of Evil boss is Emperor Spider, one of the harder boss fights to take out at speed. The idea is to have a game of chicken with her, stay within a hitbox, taking a hit, or whipping your head just before you take a hit, so you can stay in the air rather than getting knocked back. And it also flashes your cannon strikes, letting the pipe ball, the super pipe ball, do the work. So let's give this a shot, shall we? Oh, Shantae fell down. Never mind. Okay, I'm mistiming my jumps here. Down. Alright, apart from the first part of the fight, that went pretty well. So, at least we got it pretty relatively smoothly. And as you can see, it's a very risky method because of it leaves you pretty much down near ending your run. Fortunately, this being no out of bounds, we actually get given right at the beginning of the run an auto potion, which will replace my life should I happen to take a death. So that's going to be a good piece of security that hopefully I don't lose throughout the run, just to give me some comfort and just to know that it's there. Right, so before I leave, let's just get this Cacklebat in the lamp. And use our next Pirate Flare to send us back to Risky Boots and to the beginning of the island. Right, so next up, Tanline Island, desert theme. One of the things from this point up until I complete this area fully, this is one of the main islands where you want a lot of your RNG drops to happen. Throughout this run, I would like to have at least 6 milks and 6 forms of pipe balls, as well as multiple bubble shields for the final boss. So this is the point where we're just kind of hoping that we get as many drops as we can, and then whatever's missing, I'll have to sort out with gem grinds and getting the finance to be able to pick them up from the shop. So we are always going to get what we need. It's just how much of it is going to be through gems is going to be up to the game. But we've run into Squid Baron. It turned out he came here for his holiday. Unfortunately, it's the off-season and he's still a little down. He needs to find him something to do. But he's given us some X-ray specs that we can use up, where we could use as a key item for something again a little bit later on. But for now, we've got a bit of backtracking to do. As now we got that done, we've got to find 3 sarcophaguses, which are going to give us 3 codes, or 3 pieces of map codes, in order to get us the access to Tanline Temple, which is pretty much a stealth area, and which we'll go into a little bit more. So the first sarcophagus is on this island. Get some gems that are hidden in a wall there, 184, that is perfect. That is exactly what I need. Hey mermaids. Bye mermaids. Alright, so here's our first sarcophagus piece. Once we get all 3 pieces, it'll give me a combination that I could use to enter the dungeon. Right, so the next one is back in Scuttletown. And now we get to witness a fairy tale of love. As you know, when 2 people love each other very much, and you know, they get introduced to the parents, you get to meet those that are closest to you, and all is happy jolly and everything, and no, wait, he's dead. Yeah, it's implied that this is not the first time Sky's dad has took out her boyfriend, so watch yourself if you ever choose to date Sky. Right, next shop. 3 flares, shampoo, and a silky cream. So shampoo and silky cream will give me +1 damage to my hair damage, so I'll be now on 6 points of damage. And the shampoo will up the speed of my attack, so it'll basically allow me to get an additional hair whip in per second, which for the majority of the run isn't as major, but it does assist. But it's primarily for the final boss. Oh, okay, a monster milk and a bubble shield. That's pretty good. Right, off to get another key item for a bit later on in the run. And Stingy. We're hoping for super pipe balls primarily from these guys. But unfortunately, they decided to troll me this time. So we're going to get another string with them anyway, so maybe they'll be a little nicer. Pipe ball. Pipe ball. Super pipe balls. 2 super pipe balls. Okay, that's good. And now we can get our final sarcophagus piece. I mean, 2 is sort of like the bare minimum I realistically need for this run. And our password today, Lion, Gator. Right, so I just got to make sure I remember that. And yeah, the temple is literally just over here. Lion, Gator. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I don't forget. I know what my brain could be like. Alright, so Lion, Gator. Now, the pedestal there is actually set up in a way that it's all the pictures are always in the same order. And if you hair whip it, it knocks it one way. You use a pistol and knock it the other. Using that to your advantage to be able to figure out the position of the code well. So we've been mistaken for a long-lost princess, and this is now the stealth element. Metal Gear Shantae has now commenced. If I get caught at any point, I'll be sent back to the beginning of the area, so hopefully we won't get caught. Oh, I got it, right. So what I just got there was a timed hair whip. If you go a bit too early, you'll end up getting caught. If you go too late, you'll miss. But if you actually happen to get it, you don't have to wait around for their cycles to turn around, enabling you to just pretty much what we call one cycle in the guard room. Just going to take a bit of a detour and just grab some additional gems. This is what we usually grab in the route, just in case the item RNG does not work out well enough. Final key, next key. Right, so this room, I'm going to try once at speed. Hopefully I don't get caught. Looking good. Right, we're good. We're out. So that probably couldn't have gone any better if I wanted it to. So that was a very good stealth tempo. The guards are no longer in our way, and it's this particular temple why we wanted to stockpile keys earlier on, because you're supposed to get 3 keys in order to release other fellow characters we've run into that are also mistaken for the long-lost princess. Not too sure what's going on there, but rather than having to go through even more of this temple and have the risk of getting caught, we use our stockpile keys at this point, and we can just go straight into letting all 3 of our fellow friends out, and then go pretty much to the end. We do have a cacklebat here, which unfortunately, because I've been stripped of all my equipment, for now all I can do is take him out. I'll have to come back in here straight away in order to actually collect. Right, so off we go, and it's going to take the might of all 4 of us to pull this string to open the door. It's for such a small door, it's a bit of an overcomplicated thing, but we get there, and now we can confront this guy who locked us all up here. And it turns out the long-lost princess has returned from the shops after about 20 minutes of being gone. Yeah. Turns out she forgot to tell them where she was going. Oh, okay, I'm just going to jump randomly. Alright, so now we've got all our equipment back. We can re-enter the dungeon just to quickly come in and grab the dark magic here. So there's 4 cacklebats overall within this island. That is the first. Free to go. But the guy at the end of that actually gave us the golden pickaxe, which we need to break down this wall, or to give to these guys so they can break down this wall so we can progress forward. And a good thing here is, once the music's about to happen in a sec, I'm able to go and check in my menu and just get a tab of my inventory. 2. Okay, it's not bad, but we're going to need quite a few more items in general. But for now, we got cacklebats to discover. Our first one is over here. And as mentioned, using the risky shovel to get dashes in positions that we're not supposed to be able to do. Alright, cacklebat down. Now, I can't do the exit and re-enter here because I won't be able to come back in this screen through above. So I've actually got to have to wait out. I'll get the words right eventually. Wait out his death animation to then be able to jump back up the top, and then we can push across. Alright, so as we come over here, we're going to be on the hunt for the... and here's a cacklebat. Shout out to sound defense for that one. Cacklebat down, and again, unfortunately have to wait out his animation. That just leaves one more hidden. And he should just be over here. Oh, scimitar, please. Hey, hello. Alright, so good RNG there. There's a bit of RNG to the cacklebats as to which direction they'll jump. So if they jump towards the loading zone that we want to exit out of straight after, that is, of course, ideal. Alright, so that's all the dark magic done for Tanline Island. We can now proceed on to just take out the Den of Evil. Oh, a bit early. Can I get the charge in time? Ah, he got a little too close. Never mind. Okay, we just have to restore the charge. Straight over here, and we'll fall into the Lost Catacombs. And this is where we traditionally get the Scimitar. Now, fortunately, as we already have it, we could go straight to the boss, but we do still need keys, which could lead to the last lab. But however, there's a key across here, which doesn't cost much more time to get, but also happens to have a potential chance of giving us a major item from this enemy. She could drop a Super Monster Milk or a Super Pipe Ball, but she could also drop a 5 gem, which unfortunately she did. So bad RNG there. Alright, so now we can start making our way down, and we'll be entering the Gauntlet room. We're going to optimize the best we can using our risky charge, actually, to deal a good amount of damage. No more drops, okay. Alright, so 2 score girls to end this room. A few counter strikes on, hopefully some good RNG. 5 gem. Oh, wow. Right, so for this next room, I'm going to go for a 1 cycle crusher. And we're actually going to be counting Shantae's butt wiggles, funnily enough, in order to know when to start moving. And that should be good. I should be able to get through this in 1. Alright, nice. Alright, so now we have coming up the Squid Baron. It turns out he actually is a boss fight. Now, Squid Baron runs off of a script. He'll start off by like dashing into the walls. He'll jump, dash to the walls, and go into eating phase. We want to take him down. We want to beat his first round before he begins his eating phase, ideally. Alright, I'm not too sure if he charged or not, so I'm going to have to account for that. But otherwise, Squid Baron 2.0 has arrived. Sparklers on the ready. Suit of armor. We're ready to go. Yeah, no. Right, so I'll just let him delay back so I can make sure he is definitely going to be on his eating phase. Because I'm using a slightly weaker buff then would be optimal. Squid Baron is going to get another dash phase going. He should be down right about now. And that's him good. Right, so with Squid Baron defeated, it turns out he's very happy. He's happy being the filler boss nowadays, so all we got to do is beat him up and he'll be one very happy chappy. Yes, I did go on to flare. Okay, good. Right, so now flare out. We should be done with this island unless I've missed anything. I don't believe I have. So now we can give the map over for Bog Island. Now, Bog Island can be a nightmare to do, so we're just going to ignore that. I don't want to go there. We will be going there, but we actually have to take a bit of a detour to use the fossil that we got earlier on in the run. As it turns out, our village idiot, Bolo, once we give him a fossil and some X-ray specs, he becomes wickedly smart and is able to decipher the fossil as this death mask, which is a key item we need to actually to be able to progress within Bog Island itself to gain access to the Village of Lost Souls. So now we got that done, we can enter Bog Island. And as mentioned, play this game casually. This area can be quite the nightmare. There's a bunch of enemies around and about the place. They all do a reasonable amount of damage. However, thanks to the old risky shuffle, we should be able to sort of fly through this. I'm going to be intentionally hitting 1 or 2 enemies just to try and get some additional drops. Alright, so halfway into Bog, 2 more screens to go. We do have a Cacklebat to take out as well here. Woo! Come here, come here, come here. Just jumping crazy. Yeah, I tried to tend to just go crazy with that Cacklebat. Because of the low ceiling, more times than not, he's likely going to at least hit me once or twice. Alright, so Cacklebat 1 down, 2 to go for Bog Island. Go on, give me a monster milk. Ah, bento box. Pirate flare? Oh! That's a pretty rare drop. So that may change how I do my last shot slightly. So I have to take that into account. So now with the Death Mask, we're able to trick this guy into believing we're dead. And we can now enter the Village of Lost Souls. So first things first, we got a Cacklebat to take care of. And our primary thing we're going to be doing here, apart from Cacklebats, is there's 3 gamers in the middle of, it's somewhere in this arena. And they've lost their coins. We're going to be collecting those coins up for them, which is going to allow us to have a very fun and mostly skilled game, shall we call it, called Heads and Tails. Yeah, it's going to be a pure RNG factor of the run, or of the section. I'm just going to take a moment just to figure out exactly what gems I need. I'm probably going to pick up a few more than I probably would in general, just to be sure. But I'm just trying to think now. I believe I can get away with 280, 300 to 320. But I'll make sure I go a bit over that just to be sure. Right, so they're the gamers there. They're just waiting patiently for us to sort out the coins. But for the meantime, we've got one more Cacklebat to take on. Pretty clean kill there. So that should be the final one for Bog Island. And we can go and proceed to clear out the remainder of what is left here. Watch out for randomly spawning ghosts and a few hidden gem pots there, which we can use the pistol to our advantage just to collect them up. And again, there's some walls that actually have these hidden gems in as well. Actually, I may need more gems than I thought. 320. At least one more bubble shield actually, so I think I may actually want closer to 345. So unfortunately, I am going to have to do a little bit of gem grinding here just to be on the safe side, just to make sure that I definitely have enough. And if it turns out I overgrind my gems, then it's not going to be the end of the world. At least I have what I need. So this should be the final one I need to do. I can collect whatever gems I need en route. So I actually jump onto that little platform there to intentionally spawn the ghosts so I know where they're going to be. Right, so with all 3 coins in, let's have this skill game of Heads and Tails. So literally, all we're going to do is select heads or tails. Primarily, we're going to select heads. It's completely RNG as to what they're going to say. Are they going to give me perfect? No, Red Gamer Troll. So one thing we at least do know is if you fail this game 3 times, or get the wrong answer 3 times, the game has a failsafe in. So I've just failed for my 3rd time. It's guaranteed now that whatever I select is going to be what I want. And then we're good there. Get the locket in return. And we're going to take this on a big magical adventure just over to this girl, who looks strikingly like someone who I'm not going to acknowledge for reasons. And she's going to give us the Hopeful Flame, which we can now use, which we get to keep at least a little bit longer, but not much longer, as we need this here to summon a shadowy figure who is going to lend us his manly musk. Because as it turns out, getting into the next dungeon, you can't smell like a lovely, beautiful, pretty princess. You got to smell like a dirty old man. Otherwise, they're not going to let you in. Oh, damn! It's a shame I missed that. It would have been nice to see what that was. There's a good chance that could have been a super pie ball, but it's quite rare. All right, so now we enter Oubliette of Suffering. This dungeon, thanks to having both the Pirate Master's equipment in general, primarily the Risky Boots for the Risky Shuffle, in conjunction with doing the actual Risky Shuffle trick, we're going to be able to, we're going to be able to mess up. We're going to be able to actually skip roughly 80 to 85% of what this dungeon has, which is pretty nice. But first we need to get into the central hub room. So the idea is you're supposed to branch out to other rooms and get these to align, basically to go to other rooms to align these elevators up into the center, so you could do a risky, so you could use the Risky Boost to dash through and go to the boss. We don't need to do that as we have the equipment as well as the ability to do it. So we'll just go with that. All right. So next up is Dagron, massively misspelled monstrosity. He will just keep swooping it from left to right. Whether he comes close to me or far away from me is up to him, and I can use the sound cue to determine when he's about to come at me. Alright. Right. Oh! I thought he was going short. Alright, never mind. He's definitely going short now. Okay. Behind by 1 round. He should go down any moment now. Alright, Dagger down. Unfortunately, I misgauged one of his swoops in. Fortunately, he didn't troll me, because the thing is, the more damage you deal to that fight, the faster he becomes. And if he hits you and knocks you down, there's a very good chance he's definitely going to hit you another time. So, thankfully, it happened near the beginning of the fight rather than the end. Alright, so that gives us our next dungeon map to Frostbite Island. Oh, whoops, menu. So that's going to be going from the depths of hell to a very icy cold area. But first we get given this lost soul, which we'll handle a little bit later on. For now, though, we're just going to exit out. Going to do a bit of a shuffle here. Oh, it's a delayed shuffle. Because if I would have done the dash from the other screen into that screen, there's an invisible wall that would have blocked me. So we have to delay the dash to get in and through. And as it turns out, the Village of Lost Souls is considered indoors. So we are unable to use the flare indoors. We have to make it all the way back out. Flare off and off to Frostbite Island. Sorry, excuse me. Now, as long as I've not miscounted anything, I should at least have all the gems that I'm going to need. And I'll be able to pick up what I need from the shop. Right, so Frostbite Island, pretty much just going to be for the first part, we're just going to pretty much just be dashing straight across, and don't mind me killing that wolf. I have a thing with that. Also, dash into the wall there. Oh. Alright, that'll do. Okay, so Cacklebat down. Give me a chance to take out 1 or 2 wolves here, because although it's a very, very, very low chance, it's like 1% and 4% respectively, they have a chance of dropping either a Super Pipe Ball or Super Monster Milk as well as 5 gems. So it's just, if I can get a couple of wolf kills, it tends to help. As for the next set of wolves I'm going to be going in, I will be going into another group of wolves, but that's for another purpose. That when you dash through multiple enemies, it gives you a +1 on your damage, and I want to have it set up to a particular damage when I'm about to go into the next Cacklebat. That's going to be along the way, and hopefully if the Cacklebat decides to play nice and jump to the right, we'll be able to kill him in one fell swoop. Cooperate! Nice, and down he goes! So yeah, if I hit one more enemy prior to that, it will end up causing the Cacklebat to stay in the air as he sustained enough damage, so you don't want to hit too many enemies along the way. Keep him to fall in that swoop and he'll just land up right on top of you. Alright, so we just have a climb up here, and we'll be out of Frostbite Island and into Propeller Town. And as it turns out, the higher you go, the clearer the sky is. Don't ask how that works, I have no idea myself. So there is one more Cacklebat up here, but he's pretty much right at the top. Now this is a pretty smooth area to run through, and for pirate mode it just feels great. Going over these chasms and using your cannon in conjunction with your hat, as well as the boot dash, and just absolutely just ignore everything. You're supposed to like climb through chains and such to actually progress forward. Hey, block of ice. Alright, so we're almost at the top. Just got to watch out for a string of kissy boss. No, I told you earlier, I do not want a kiss from you. Leave me alone. Just a nice fell swoop. Right, so we're going to start setting up. At a certain point, I'm going to start doing some cannon strikes off, just to save a bit of time, get between the spikes, and hopefully not hit the spikes. Over and across to you guys. And right, so now we could make our way to our next Cacklebat, which is just up the top here. And he should be the final Cacklebat for this, for the whole Frostbite arena, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's free. I'm hoping I remember him right. But yeah, I'm pretty sure 3 Cacklebats. That'll be that island down. If I've not miscounted anything, there should be 3 Cacklebats left in the game. Now we just fall down here, and it turns out, hey Bolo, it turns out he got a side job working with the enemy. So targeting module in. Hopefully that won't go wrong as we worship the Bolo. Sorry. But yeah, he's basically created a targeting module for Ammo Baron, so he could use that to attack the palace, or to set up a cannon that's going to attack the palace. Sorry. He's usually a bit of a dum-dum, so we're kind of hoping he wired it a bit incorrectly. So this is the Cacklebat I left behind earlier, as we had to come back here anyway, just take care of him now. Right, I just want to be 100% sure when I get... Oh, what's blocking me? So, yeah, when I get the next 2 Cacklebats, I'm going to be just going into the menu just to make sure I have all 20. I'm positive I have them all. But yeah, we mainly come here because we had that lost soul we got after defeating Dagron. As it turns out, zombies are probably the best kind of people you want to talk to when it comes to figuring out who a soul belongs to. So we're going to visit good old Rotty Tops and Abner in here. And we're going to see if they can help us out. So who's it belong to? Can you do us a favour? It belongs to Joe with a fresh funky moustache. While we're here as well, we're also going to give up the death mask here. They're actually going to give us, that's going to replenish us with a pirate flare so we can actually get off of this island. Alright, so who's Joe? Turned out he was the boyfriend of Sky. Oh, wrong island. Let's get back out of it. Turns out it was Sky's boyfriend who unfortunately got petrified earlier on in the run. So we're going to basically bring that back to him in a while. Right, I need to remember what I'm getting. 2 flare, super pike, if I remember rightly. 3 super monster milks. I think. Yeah, that should be good. Right, so first up, we need to... oh, hello, Lobster Tail. So, we've got a couple of things we need to do first here before we can activate the cannon. Ammo Baron's men, or team, shall I say. Oh, hard squid of shame, for shame. Yeah, I was meant to do another cannon, so we got a hard squid for no reason. But we need to get his troops back over to him. A couple of them happen to be over here, which the enchanted blade that we got from Tanline Island is what we need to return them back. So we pass this over to Branson, who claims the sword is his, and he becomes Chinese knockoff He-Man. Yeah, clearly no resemblance there. Right, so we can flare out, and before we finish off this side quest, we're going to get the final 2 Cacklebats of the run, as long as I've not missed anything. So off to the left we go, where they both reside. Oh, come over here. And yeah, okay, cool. Right, so I should be on 19 now. I will just quickly go to the menu once I've got the final one, just to make sure it says 20. It's quite bad when you get to the final boss and you don't have all 20, because it kind of kills the run. So this should be number 20 coming up. Okay, let's just make sure of it. 20, perfect. Okay, that is all dark magic done. We just now need to finish the game. Right, so we got Twitch and Vinegar back over to Ammo Baron, who actually turned out got recruited by Ammo Baron after they left Sliver Island. We're going to return Joe's soul, so restore the love! Where are you going? Ammo Baron! No, you're not Ammo Baron, you're Barracuda Joe, what am I talking about? Turns out plenty more fish in the sea. So he kind of gone walking, so I'm hoping Sky doesn't hate me for life. Right, so we give him the targeting module, his team's there. Fire the cannon. Yeah, Bolo wired it incorrectly and is kind of going off the track. Poor Techno Baron gets blown to bits. Well, blown away. See you in Half Genie Hero, my friend. That actually is the access to our final Den of Evil. So we can just make our way across. That one heart squid in that bar there, just like, yeah. Just nice little floaty. And in we go. So, abandoned factory. Now, we do have a key stockpile currently. I've got plenty of food. I may as well do some animation skips just to save a little bit of time. Because we've got a key stockpiled, I'm able to just leave one of the keys out intentionally and just go straight towards the boss and get the key that is along the path towards him. Instead, just got a bit of risky shuffling here just to save time to break through these blocks. Once again, here. Right, so now we got that. We can make our way to the boss and pray that an ice block does not decide to troll me. It did not. Thank you very much, game. Right, I'm pretty sure I may have incorrectly worked out my items in the way that I'm going to have to use 2 weak buffs against this boss fight. But this is still Maggot anyway. He is basically RNG the boss. Got 3 buttons on his back, and the combination changes within each round. Fortunately, I now know it's 3, 1, 2. So I'm going to have to go 2 weak items, and hopefully I can get this right. Oh, he jumped away. Okay, we're probably going to have to go 3 rounds against this guy. But the idea is to figure out the combination as quick as you can, and then deal the damage to him. Yes, this is likely to be 3 rounds, unfortunately. Oh, really? I got a 2 round. Okay. Never mind. Right, so that's our final Den of Evil down. So a little bit more on risky boots as we pretty much finish up here. It turns out she wanted the Pirate Master stopped because she actually used to work for him. She used to be his first mate, and she was the one who led a mutiny up against him during the Great Genie War once upon a millennial. So she doesn't want him back for obvious reasons of he's probably going to want some revenge. Some risky revenge. Ooh. I can probably guarantee if a few people in the chat that probably just sort of like facepalm there. But just to be sure, we're just going to pop over to the Lonely Grave where the Pirate Master was laid to rest and just make sure that he is not returning, that everything is all good. And oh, we fail. Turned out he got his power back anyway, or got as much of it as he could, as he now returns to the land of the living. And as mentioned, not very impressed with Risky Boots, so he's going to take her away. And now it's our job to go and put an end to his madness, well, put an end to any tyranny that he could create, because as it turned out, within the short space of time, he has took over Scuttle Town, and the town is now developed into darkness. So we're now on the final stretch for this run, as all we pretty much need to do is just float all the way across over, get into the palace, and go through the tower, which I'll explain a bit in a moment. Hopefully I'm going to go up and over. Yeah, that'll do. I would have liked to have not hit that enemy, but it's not the worst case. So, with the tower, now with the Pirate Master's tower, or palace, you're supposed to go through the Pirate Master's trials, which involve you go through all these basically test your skills type thing. Now, in an out-of-bounds run, we would actually use a trick to just float all the way up the top and skip it. As it turns out, even with no out-of-bounds, we can still do the same. By using a conjunction of the hat, 3 cannon strikes and the hat once again, the hat ends up pushing you up about a pixel or 2. And as long as you get your cannon strikes right at the peak times, you can just pretty much skip by everything. Whoop. Second try on that one, that'll do. Okay. Oh, really? Come on, Turkey, come on. There it is, okay. Few mishaps there, but not a terrible climb overall. as we are now led to the Pirate Master. I haven't saved once yet in this run, so for those that are probably worried that the run could die, I'll just do that now. Now, whatever happens, we are going to be at the Pirate Master. So phase 1 of Pirate Master, this is where 80% would usually end once you defeat the first phase. He's going to teleport between multiple different positions. We needed the bubble shield primarily because at a certain point he's going to fire off these bubble attacks. What the bubble attacks are basically going to do is one-shot me. So we need the bubble shields to protect ourselves. So if I didn't have it and that hit me, it would be all over. Unfortunately, he has been very trolly in this first round, so I'm hoping I can get him down. As we go to the second part, he's going to use these pedestals to fire off some more damage. I'm just going to try and keep the side of him and get as much damage as I can. Ah, no! Please go down quickly. Okay. Right. So phase 1 is down. Once you get to this point where it shows the pistol, that's a clear indication that you've got all the dark magic. And now we have the true Pirate Master battle. Unfortunately, I took him down a little slower than I would like. I should be able to rectify it because the setup I'm using is very tight to get each of the next phases down in one round. So, time to focus. Pirate Master will now use his own equipment against me. Now, luckily, he pretty much just sort of works off the same pattern. So, I know several visual cues that I know that I could use to know when to move and when to get about. Because if any of these attacks hit me, again, it's a one-shot. It's a one-shot kill. I do still have my auto potion inbound anyway, so if that does happen, I will be granted at least one more hit. Right. Use the super pipe ball on this phase. Usually I use it on phase 3 because I didn't get enough damage in on the first phase. At least I don't think I did this just to be safe. Alright, so when we get up here, we're basically just going to mash the buttons. Because as it turns out, Shantae could double jump. It essentially will double jump in his face. I'm not exactly sure why this happens, but if things go well, he should go down before returning to his beginning phase. Okay, round 2 done. If he happens to get away from me, basically he will restart the cycle, and he will basically be one hit away from being done. But you have to wait until he gets back to top, being a 40-second time loss should that happen. But anyway, as it turned out, we give the Pirate Master his dark magic back, which turns out to be the light magic that Shantae lost in the previous game. We are now back to being a half GD hero. 2 phases to go. Alright, so phase 3 is essentially very similar to phase 2. There's going to be one additional cannon that's going to be popping out, but otherwise we can still follow a similar pattern that we did last time. For the scimitars, they're going to move back and forth and try and have me. I'm hopefully going to get my positioning right here and do a little bit of, don't worry about it type thing. Alright, so just a couple of strikes there. And we'll put that in. Is everyone alright? Doing good? Turns out there's a spot where you can just stay there and you won't get hit, so that's quite fortunate. Alright, hopefully I can get up quick enough and get enough damage in to put him down, then we'll have one more phase. Right, good. Okay, time is going to be coming up. Time will be the moment the 4th cannon strike hits. I will call it as best as I can. So 3, 2, 1. It'll be on the next cannon. And time. Well, that felt pretty good, I will admit. It felt alright. So with the Pirate Master down, he is defeated. We have a few ends cutscenes and whatnot. We're probably going to be pushing on to the next run in a moment. So just a quick rundown at the end. Pirate Master is defeated. Shantae restores Scuttletown back from what the Ammo Baron changed it to what it was originally. We return Risky Boots' equipment to her as they were only on loan to us for the course of the run. With that being said, yeah, that's Pirate's Curse. Do we have a time? 1:03:03. Yeah, that's actually very good, to be fair. I would not complain, just shy of the sub 1:03. But that is still a pretty solid run. So I'm very happy with that. So that is Pirate's Curse. Any ADM, not any percent. ADM no out of bounds. And we have, I believe, one more run of the event, which I've got it now set up for, as we have a Blaster Master Zero run EX character Shantae. So Shantae returns to a different game. So I believe we'll get that set up ready, and we will be back